This is the plaintiff, Avatar. She says she went to a store, parked her minivan in a legal spot which had no sign stating otherwise, and when she came out, her car was gone. She thought it was stolen, but as it turns out, the defendant towed it. There she was with 3 kids, a full shopping cart of food, and it was 90 degrees out. The tow company says she was in a fire lane. It was never a fire lane before. Now all of a sudden it's not legal to park there? This is a scam if ever she's seen one. And she's suing for $5,000, $272 for the tow, $2.79 for spoiled milk, and $4,725.21 in punitive damages. This is the defendant, Brian Shinen. He says the store contracts him to tow illegal cars. The plaintiff parked in the end cap of a row which is not a spot, and he towed her. A lot of people do it at that property. It impedes the flow of traffic, and it's a problem he's been hired to enforce. The plaintiff chose to park there illegally, and now she has to pay the price of the tow. End of story. He's accused of spoiling a woman's milk.
All parties, please use your ready.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff parked her minivan in a legal spot. It was towed. There were a bunch of kids in the car and milk that spoiled. Defendant says she was parked in a fire zone. It's the case of crying over spilt milk.
Okay, Avital?
Yes.
Okay, you're suing B&M Towing, represented here by Brian Shinen. You're the owner?
Yes.
Okay. For $5,000, most of it in punitive damages, $2.79 in spoiled milk, and spoiled deli meat, $14.99, and the cost of the tow, because according to you, you were inappropriately towed. Tell me what happened.
On the day that I was towed, I went to this BJ shopping center, which I've been going to for years, and I was with my 3 little kids, so I went to look for the closest spot, closest to the store, less walking around with them.
How old are your kids?
I have twin 6-year-olds and an almost 4-year-old.
Okay.
So we were all together. It was supposed to just be a quick trip. So I found something in my usual area, right near it, parked my car as usual. We went in, and when I came back out of the store, there was no car.
Okay, let's slow down a second, and let us... Does this look right? Does this look familiar? This is an aerial view of the...
Yes.
BJ's, I presume. You want to go ahead and go over there a second,
Okay.
and let's try to tell me where it is that you parked.
Okay. And I've been parking there for years. I was in between these 2 trees over here, next to this first.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to make that bigger. Say again where you were.
Right here next to this tree.
How next to that tree? Show me where.
I'm saying that it's usually 4 cars, usually park here, 2 here. I was in this first spot right over there.
So if I had a car right here, are you saying there? Like
Yes.
on the other side of this?
Yes, right here. As if my finger was that.
Okay, I'm not seeing white stripes there, though.
But it has been a parking spot. People are always using it. There's no sign that has ever said that it's a no parking zone. I've been using this particular store for at least 6 years, always parking exactly right there, never getting any notification or anything. I mean, it's always being used as a spot. And again, it's not labeled anywhere.
Like that car right there is parked inappropriately.
Right, and
Right,
that was
'cause-
left there. We also have pictures of a car parked there at that time and it wasn't taken, and
Okay, but how would that entitle you to $5,000? In other words, we can see which are the parking spaces. They are marked with a white stripe, right?
Yes, I understand.
And then you're parked in the area, which I presume is the egress of that in order to get out. You're parked there. Frankly, there should be white stripes there. I get what you're saying. That is an enormous wasted space for the BJ. I don't get it, but, okay, go ahead and go back. Did you actually do the tow? You're the owner of the company. You didn't do the tow.
No.
Do you have your tow people take pictures of where they towed the car from and take pictures of the car when they tow?
No.
Do you know where the tow was from?
Right where she said, apparently.
Well, that's apparently, but you don't know. Why are you
I
here
was
and not the
not-
tow guy?
Because I'm the owner of the tow company.
Yeah, I know. What are you going to be able to tell me about the facts of this case?
Well, I'm reading what was written.
Okay.
The car was parked not between 2 white lines. I spoke to the driver. The driver.
Actually, that's not what it says. What does it say? A fire
It was parked
lane.
in the no parking zone.
A no parking zone fire lane.
Yes.
That's what it
you
says.
specifically wrote
Hold on.
no fire
No one's
lane.
asking you a question.
I'm sorry.
So does the tow company have a duty to take pictures.
Well, I respect produce as much as the next guy, and even though the milk got spoiled, I think that they absolutely needed to take pictures of the tow truck. If you're going to impound someone else,
I don't care about that. Why steroid scallions?
steroid scallions, you know, you grill them on the beach, you're gonna have a nice time. On the sunset with a beer, oh, delicious.
Okay, and it smells too. Going inside the courtroom.
He specifically wrote what? Tell me what he see. This is where bringing the tow truck driver with you would help, but go ahead.
It was unattended, unoccupied. Vehicle parked in drive-through lane at end cap is what it says.
Okay, hold on one second. But he also marks blocking
Yes,
fire lane,
other,
also marks
yes.
no parking
No
lane,
parking
zone, traffic lane, not fire
Yes.
lane, traffic,
Right, traffic lane.
traffic lane. All right. Did you ever have any contact with them? With
No.
her? No. All right, so you're out there, they tow your car, and you got 3 little kids saying, Mommy, Mommy, where's the car?
Yes.
And-
We were able to see, like, immediately when we exited the store that, like, my car wasn't there. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? It's like, where's my car? Where's my car? I see the security guard that roams the parking lot. And I'm like, do you know where my car is? It was over here. She's like, how am I supposed to know where your car is?
Why
She's
is she
like,
copping an attitude?
and she's like, well, maybe you had outstanding parking tickets on it. I'm like, I have a clean record. I don't have anything outstanding on this car. Can you help me? She's like, that's not my job. And she drove away. And it's August.
Why is everyone against you? Go ahead.
And, you know, it's August. It's very, very hot.
It's 95 degrees according to you. Where are you?
Yes, that's Brooklyn. And then I called 911 because I'm assuming it was stolen because nobody knows where it went. I was only in the store for a short amount of time. 911 didn't even want to help me. They're like, are you sure this is an emergency? And I'm like, I went into the store, I came out, my car's not there. I'm assuming it's stolen. And they're like, are you sure? Then somebody came along, a nice pedestrian, whatever, said that, yes, we saw somebody load up your car and they towed it away. And I'm like, okay.
Well, what am I supposed to do with the fact that you have point blank in the first minute of this case confessed to me where you parked, which is not a parking space? It should be maybe, but it isn't.
It's been used
Yeah, I know.
forever. I understand, but
Everybody does it. Does not entitle you to $5,000, you know?
Shouldn't the security guard then have told me? Because she works for the company that's there.
No.
She should have said, she asked where my
What,
car was.
that's what you can say in your case against BJ's. When you say to BJ's, you guys have never enforced this, all of a sudden you enforce this, I'm a good customer, you should give me my $272 back in Cheetos or whatever. Give me a, but that's between you and BJ's. You're out of gas, my dear. I'm sorry that you had a terrible, very bad, terrible day.
I mean,
However,
it left my kids, you know, traumatized. They're
yes,
upset.
I know, but you don't think that that's going to cause me to change the law in my head, right? You know that the law applies to you the same way it applies to a gruff, hairy old guy. It's
No,
not,
I understand
you know, I
that.
understand that it was, of course it was unpleasant. Next time, park where there are white stripes, right? Like everybody else does. I agree with you. I'm looking at this and thinking there's a lot of wasted
It's
space.
very
Take it up
narrow.
with BJ's, verdict for the defendant.
Well, the plaintiff fails in her bid to get her fee back and $5,000. Well, $5,000 total. That was pretty gutsy to sue for that. How'd you come up with that?
We wanted to just take them to small claims, and it's always, that's the max at the small claims court, which figuring the judge could always work it down, but just wanted to start someplace. It was a big giant headache. It caused a lot of grief. My kids are still scared anytime I leave my car anywhere. They're like, are you sure it's not going to disappear? The bad guys took it away. So I guess it is what it is.
I think everybody sympathizes with you, but unfortunately, you couldn't prevail this time. All
right.
Be more careful next time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And here comes Mr. Shinan.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Were you concerned coming to court?
Not at all. Not at all.
This happened much? You get sued a lot?
Yeah.
Good enough. Thank you very much.
Okay,
See you next time. Harvey?
Hey, it doesn't matter if the parking space is used. If it's illegal, it can be towed.